while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, a first look at Faro Marine Life Center's brand new facility, a big fundraiser for Captain Joseph House, and some smart money talk with Kevin Holt.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy, Farmers Insurance.
News Radio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. As crude oil futures go up, stocks go down. NYMEX crude today up as much as 8.5% as the fighting in the Middle East intensifies even more. And crude shipping through the Strait of Hormuz all but halted. And new reports say the U.S. is not looking to tap U.S. strategic oil supplies to bring prices lower. Airline shares among those tumbling, with analysts at Rothschild cutting their rating on American Airlines stock and citing the rising price on jet fuel. Meantime, also weighing on sentiment today, U.S. officials have now written draft regulations that would restrict AI chip shipments to anywhere in the world without U.S. approval, and that's weighing on shares of NVIDIA and other tech stocks today. And the Pentagon says an additional $12 billion through 2031 is needed to boost declining readiness rates of the F-35 fighter, built primarily by Lockheed Martin, with others as well. The additional funding is mostly for spare parts. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
I'm Dr. Sam Skovgaard, a general surgeon at Olympic Medical Center. For minor surgeries like hernias or gallbladder removal, smaller incisions with laparoscopic surgery can mean less pain and much faster recovery. Join me for a presentation on March 19th at 5:30 p.m. at Olympic Memorial Hospital. We'll discuss the advantages of laparoscopic surgery right here at OMC. Reserve your seat today at olympicmedical.org/RSVP.
LS Tractor. Do more for less. More standard features, more capacity, and more operator comfort. LS Tractor gives you more. A comprehensive warranty and more PTO horsepower. Do more on your farm, ranch, or acreage. Mow it, grade it, till it, or move it. Stop by your local participating dealer and join the growing LS Tractor family today.
Find the perfect LS tractor for you at Leitz Farm Supply in Sequim. Locally owned and operated. Call Leitz at 360-452-1400.
LS Tractor. Simply more.
News Radio KONP. Traffic and roads.
All right, let's head up to Clallam Transit Dispatch Center. That's where Steve's standing by with an eye on the noontime traffic for us. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi there. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, busy again this afternoon. If you are in the Port Angeles or Sequim area, you're going to find a lot of traffic out there right now. Things moving along fairly well, at least in the city, Front Street, First Street. Really not much of a problem getting around. Same thing in Sequim. A lot of traffic out there in Washington, but it is moving along fairly well. Yeah, really not much to worry about. If you're on the highway between the two cities, a little bit busy out there as well. Our construction area there at Baker Street and Lee's Creek, pretty much bumper to bumper through there, especially headed eastbound with that traffic light at Brook and also at Del Guzzi slowing things down. But overall, take your patience through there and you'll be fine the rest of the way out to the Sequim area. If you're headed beyond that, Hood Canal Bridge is good to go. No scheduled marine openings this morning, and state ferries, they are back on schedule, running on time again this afternoon. If you're headed out to the west end, should be a nice drive for you. Roads are in good shape. It's sunny out that way, and traffic is moving along at the speed limit. So everybody take care. Enjoy your afternoon. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Steve. We'll get another update from you in about a half hour. Your weather forecast calls for partly sunny skies the rest of the day today and a high near 50. Clouding up tonight, some rain rolling in after midnight. Lows near 40. Rain at times through the day on Friday with your highs near 50 degrees. Currently, it is 49 in the east end in Port Townsend out west at Forks at 48. Sequim now at 51. And here in Port Angeles out at Fairchild Airport, it's 52 degrees. All right, let's do some laundry facts. The average American family does 8 to 10 loads of laundry every week. A single load of laundry from wash to dry takes an average of an hour, 27 minutes to complete. U.S. consumers wash more than 660 million loads every week. or about 35 billion wash loads a year. That's totaling 100 million tons of clothes. That translates to 1,000 wash loads started in the United States every second of every day. Women do 88% of the laundry, and 50% of all loads are washed in warm water, 35% in cold, and 15% in hot. 90% of all wash loads are put in a dryer.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Would you believe it if I told you nearly 1/3 of food that is grown and produced goes unsold or uneaten in the United States? That's the finding of a recent report by a nonprofit organization called Refeed that's dedicated to reducing food waste. At home, that's either groceries, like the strawberries that spoil in your fridge, or it's the meal you ordered at the restaurant and only ate half of, or you didn't eat the leftovers when you brought them home. One of the best ways to reduce food waste is to simply have a plan for everything you buy. One chef we talked to about this said, buy less but more often, store correctly, pre-proportion, and give every item a next life plan the day it arrives. That is to say, leftovers don't need to be the same meal you ate yesterday. Heat it up. Make them into something new. You're more likely to use them. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till GoodRx wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart, and this is One Moment in America. Let me give you a few facts about one of our past politicians, and you tell me if you see much resemblance to our present political leaders. But be prepared, you might just be shocked by the comparison. I'll tell you the story after this important message.
If you've been hearing my radio programs now for the last 20 years, you know that I've been telling the true stories of those who have followed God's ways to make America the greatest nation in the world. So what's the latest? Well, we're now doing this nation-saving work full-time, and we need your help by becoming one of our ambassadors, subscribing to All We Have for just $5.95 per month. To get what? Number one, full access to our amazing website that is full of over 100 true stories to teach us with these stories how America is to act and operate. We also have lessons for all ages to teach us what we must do now. And our children, they will be our nation's leaders very soon. I will have live presentations online for you to hear, maybe even to participate. And when must this all get started? Now. Call our offices today at 817-995-6965 or go to our website at www.jerrystewartusa.com and email our office. God bless you.
How are our political leaders supposed to conduct themselves in America today? Listen to these facts about one past U.S. politician. He was a model to all with his high character, his virtues, and his moral values. He was less concerned with personal power and more concerned with personal integrity. And who was this great American politician? George Washington, the father of our nation. Do you suppose if George Washington came back to America today and looked around, he might just be so embarrassed by our political leaders, the way they act, that he might resign as the father of our nation? Think about it. I'm Jerry Stewart, and that was One Moment in America.
Meet Jean. She calls Lavender Meadows in Sequim home. It's the kind of place where mornings feel unhurried, neighbors know your name, and life is meant to be enjoyed.
It's just the camaraderie. We have potlucks here, we have Thanksgiving here. I've made some very nice friends, and it's just a nice atmosphere.
Come home to Lavender Meadows in Sequim. Visit lavendermeadowsmhc.com to learn more.
First Fed is proud of their 100-year tradition of giving back to the Clallam and Jefferson County community. The First Fed Foundation supports local organizations building a brighter future for the disadvantaged and the marginalized persons and families in Clallam and Jefferson County. Partnering with nonprofits like Peninsula Behavioral Health, supporting construction of 36 permanent, affordable, supportive housing units for chronically homeless individuals and families in Port Angeles. The foundation also supports Serenity House of Clallam County and the West End Housing Resource Center, giving the ability to serve more of Clallam County's low-income and homeless population. The First Fed Foundation is committed to supporting nonprofits, tribes, school districts, and government agencies, providing critical, timely assistance and ensuring a brighter future for our community.
The Ramsey Show.
Need advice on a conversation with his family so that we're not supporting his mom and 4 siblings.
There's not a conversation you're going to have with his family that's going to go well. Decide what you're going to send and send it, and if they don't want to be a part of your life, it stinks, I know, but you cannot make his family self-reliant.
If the relationship is hinging on a paycheck, then there was no relationship.
Catch The Ramsey Show from 2 to 4 Monday through Friday on your local information station, News Radio KONP.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump has fired Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Here's White House correspondent Greg Cluxton.
The president announced the personnel decision on social media, saying he'll nominate Oklahoma Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin to replace Noem. Her departure comes 2 days after she faced tough questioning from Republicans and Democrats during congressional testimony. Noem, who is the first cabinet secretary to leave during Donald Trump's second term, has faced waves of criticism as she's overseen the president's immigration crackdown, including the shooting deaths of 2 citizens in Minneapolis. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Republicans are invoking the war in Iran and the prospect of retaliatory terrorist strikes as they tee up votes on a funding bill for the Department of Homeland Security. We get an update from correspondent Bernie Bennett.
The House already approved a DHS spending bill in January, but it faltered in the Senate as Democrats insisted on changes to immigration enforcement operations following the killing of Alex Pretty by Border Patrol officers in Minneapolis. As a result, funding for the department lapsed on February 14th. Republicans want Democrats to reconsider in the wake of the conflict in Iran. Democrats argue it's a cynical effort that will fail without changes to immigration enforcement operations. Votes are expected Thursday. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says Latin American nations must join the U.S. in going on offense against drug cartels.
America is prepared to take on these threats and go on the offense alone if necessary. However, it is our preference, and it is the goal of this conference, that in the interest of this neighborhood, we all do it together with you, with our neighbors and with our allies who are eager and willing and capable.
Hegseth spoke with defense officials from allied governments around the region in a speech at U.S. Southern Command in Miami. On Wall Street, slow going for the Dow. It's off by 1,070 points. More from townhall.com.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, after hearing Micro's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today! Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words switch today in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
Elon Musk has taken the stand in a shareholder trial over his Twitter stock.
The lawsuit accuses Musk of making false and misleading statements that drove down the stock price before he bought Twitter for $44 billion in 2022. The shareholders who filed the lawsuit sold their stock between May and October, when Musk's purchase closed. When asked by the plaintiff's lawyer why he didn't tweet about his decision to buy Twitter and purchase stock, Musk said he didn't think it was quote-unquote material. Musk said he has bought stock in many companies and not posted about it. When he did post about it, Twitter's stock jumped 27% in one day, a figure Musk said sounded high. I'm Mike Hempen.
President Trump says he should be involved in choosing Iran's next supreme leader. The U.S. and Israel continue hammering the country for a sixth day today. Iran has kept up its retaliatory strikes against Israel and American targets. Breaking news at townhall.com. One of the most successful and beloved figures in college football has died. Here's correspondent Gethin Coolbaugh.
Lou Holtz, the College Football Hall of Fame coach who led Notre Dame to a national championship and won 249 games over 33 seasons at 6 schools, has died. He was 89. Notre Dame announced on Wednesday that Holtz died in Orlando, Florida, surrounded by his family. A cause of death was not provided by the family. Holtz is the only coach to lead 6 different teams to bowl games during a career in which he compiled a record of 249, 132, and 7. At Notre Dame, he went 130-2 in 11 seasons. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
In a defeat for the Trump administration, a federal judge in New York has ruled that companies that paid tariffs struck down last month by the Supreme Court are due refunds. More on these stories at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Bob Agnew.
This is the News Radio KONP Noon Report.
Todd Ortloff in the KONP News Center. Here's a look at what's happening on this Thursday, March 5th. The homicide investigation into the death of a Port Angeles man whose remains were discovered on Deer Park Road continuing. Investigators say they still do not have a suspect. 73-year-old Danny Kendrick was found February 28th. Authorities say preliminary evidence indicates he died as a result of homicidal violence, though the official cause and manner of death are still pending autopsy results. Clallam County Chief Criminal Deputy Amy Bundy told KONP the case remains a whodunit. Bundy says investigators have received some help from the community through video canvassing, but at this point, it is still described as a mystery. The investigation involves several agencies, including the Olympic Peninsula Narcotics Enforcement Team, the Port Angeles Police Department, and the State Patrol Crime Scene Response Team. Bundy says investigators may also be waiting for evidence testing from the State Crime Lab, a process that could take several months. Meantime, authorities are still asking anyone with information to contact the Clallam County Sheriff's Office. A Port Angeles man has been sentenced to 10 years in prison after a drug investigation led to a violent arrest. 37-year-old Joshua Gowdy, also known as Joshua Rofe, pleaded guilty February 25th to reckless endangerment, possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver, and 2 counts of second-degree assault. He was sentenced to 120 months in prison, followed by 18 months of community supervision. Now, the case began December 18th when detectives with the Olympic Peninsula Narcotics Enforcement Team spotted a vehicle linked to Gowdy in Port Angeles. Investigators knew he had an active Department of Corrections warrant and a history of fleeing from police. Authorities say when deputies approached Gowdy at a gas station on Taylor Cutoff Road, he tried to drive away while still connected to a gas pump and repeatedly rammed patrol vehicles. Deputies used spike strips and a taser to finally take him into custody. Investigators say officers also found more than 60 grams of suspected fentanyl, along with packaging materials and a scale inside his vehicle. A new symbol of unity could soon be added to the Port Angeles waterfront. Members of the Nor'Wester Rotary Club and representatives of the Lower Elwha Clallam tribe presented a proposal to install a peace pole at Pebble Beach Park during a presentation to the Port Angeles City Council this week. Organizers say the project is a partnership between Nor'Wester Rotary and the tribe and the City of Port Angeles Parks and Recreation Department. Nor'Wester Rotary past president Sean Simmons says the project is intended to create a place for reflection while highlighting the region's cultural diversity.
So what is a peace pole? Why a peace pole? A peace pole is an internationally recognized symbol of the hopes and dreams of the entire human family, bearing the message, may peace prevail on earth in different languages on each of its 4 sides. The peace pole will serve as a visible and lasting symbol of unity, respect, and shared humanity.
The proposed pole would feature the message written in 8 languages, including Clallam, along with several international languages reflecting cultures from around the world. Carmen Watson-Charles is the cultural manager for the Lower Elwha Clallam tribe.
This honors the connection with our tribal community members and celebrates the peace we are committed to help build in Port Angeles, which we say Chweetsin. This project demonstrates the power of partnership. By working together, we strengthen our community and create spaces that reflect our shared values.
Supporters say placing the monument at Pebble Beach Park would create a visible reminder of peace and cooperation for both residents and visitors along the waterfront. Organizers are awaiting formal city approval yet, but they do hope to install the pole relatively soon. More news after this.
Stop by Potwood Treasure Trap. We're located in the front of Easy Pond in downtown Port Angeles. We have a fun selection of gifts to choose from. Everything from our best-selling leather journals to anime figures and fun pop culture gifts. We also have hard-to-find collectible swords for fantastic displays. And you've got to check out our adult humor section in our front mezzanine that's full of not safe for work gag gifts guaranteed to spark laughter. Easy Pond in downtown Port Angeles.
The KONP Home Show is coming up March 14th and 15th. We're very excited that the community corner and concessions area of our show has brand new sponsors. Permabuilt, your custom post frame builder serving all of Western Washington. And Olympic Peninsula Title, your first choice for local title and escrow services. Are proud to be a part of the 2026 Home Show. Please visit some incredible nonprofit organizations in our community corner. Find out what you can do to show your support of these groups, and then sample some of our delicious new food vendors in the concession stand. Thanks to Permabuilt and Olympic Peninsula Title for your sponsorship and participation in the KONP Home Show. Visit Permabuilt's booth in the Rough Rider Gym for more information, and visit OliPenTitle.com for any of your title or escrow needs. We'll see you at the show March 14th and 15th at Port Angeles High School.
In other news, Democrats in the state House were still short of votes late Wednesday for a proposed income tax on millionaires. Several Democratic lawmakers are withholding support while they wait to see a revised version of the bill, which could come out today. Reports suggest about a dozen members remain opposed or undecided. With 59 seats in the chamber, Democrats can only lose 9 votes if they want the measure to pass without Republican support. The proposal would create a 9.9% tax on household income above $1 million beginning in 2028. Washington currently does not tax personal wages. Now, some Democrats say they want the bill to include more relief for working families, expanded child care funding, and additional support for small businesses. Governor Bob Ferguson has met privately with the wavering lawmakers and warned he could delay the effort until next year if significant changes are not made. Democratic leaders, however, say they still expect the bill to reach the governor before the legislative session ends on March 12th. A key privacy bill has passed muster in both legislative chambers. It's now headed to the governor's desk in Olympia. Dan Frizzell has more.
The future might indeed be closer than we think, but one part of it is going to be delayed for a long time in the Evergreen State if the governor signs Representative Breonna Thomas's House Bill 2303 into law as expected. Thomas's bill would prohibit employers in Washington from requiring, coercing, or even requesting that employees allow the boss to implant a microchip under their skin for any reason. It's been banned in a dozen states already, and whether the chips would electronically unlock office doors, verify security status, or turn on the third-floor copy machine, they won't be a part of Washington workplaces. Here's Thomas after final passage this week.
We're living in a world where technology is moving faster than humans can even imagine. We're worried about constant surveillance from our phones to license plate readers to closed-circuit TVs. The last true sanctuary you have is the sanctity of your own body. What I don't want is workplaces becoming places where human beings aren't valued for the resource they are and are turned into machinery. If you want to be a cyborg in your own time, that's totally fine, but your boss can't make you one.
Thomas, a Democrat from West Seattle, wrapping up her first 2-year term at the Capitol, saw her anti-chipping bill pass out of the House with a wide bipartisan margin, followed by unanimous approval in the Senate. In Olympia, Dan Frizzell.
In the meantime, a bipartisan proposal to allow small cafes and neighborhood markets in residential areas. It's dead for the year after failing to get a hearing in the state Senate. John Satgast reports on that.
Sponsored by Representative Mark Clicker, House Bill 1175 would require cities and towns to allow small cafes and neighborhood markets in residential areas while still letting local governments regulate hours, parking, and size. Despite near unanimous House approval, Clicker says the proposal stalled once it reached the Senate.
This bill was so popular, I actually had more Democrat co-sponsors on this bill than Republicans. And I had more of the Democrats coming over wanting this bill to get passed. And it showed when we passed it out of the House.
Clicker says the proposal never even received a hearing in the Senate Local Government Committee.
Really, it comes down to one person, and this time that person is the chair of that committee, and chose to not even have a hearing on it again.
The Walla Walla Republican says the idea to build stronger communities continues to gain public support. He plans to keep working with cities, lawmakers, and stakeholders in the coming months before bringing the proposal back again next year.
Not going to give up on it.
John Satgast, the state capitol.
This is News Radio KONP.
It's winter clearance time at Brown's Outdoor. Come in and take advantage of clearance pricing on all your favorite brands. And for a limited time, take an additional 10% off clearance clothing. Also, check out our selection of hats and gloves for those chilly weather walks or hikes. Don't forget to take a gander at our current footwear clearance, along with sales on select MSR snowshoes. When it comes to winter adventures, Brown's has you covered from head to toe. Family owned and outfitting you and your family since 1919.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, a first look at Faro Marine Life Center's brand new facility, a big fundraiser for Captain Joseph House, and some smart money talk with Kevin Holt.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy Farmers Insurance.
Get ready, Squim. This Friday night, the Peninsula's favorite band, Black Diamond Junction, takes the stage at the Oasis Bar and Grill. Enjoy a high-energy night of the classic hits of the 70s and 80s. Join the party this Friday, 8 to 11 p.m. at Oasis Bar and Grill in Squim. And the best part, there's no cover charge. Great music, great food, great beverages, and a packed dance floor. Black Diamond Junction, live Friday night, 8 to 11 at the Oasis Bar and Grill in Squim.
Robert Workman's Check on Sports. See you next.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Slight chance for rain this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Daytime highs approaching 50. Winds out the west, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Rain likely tonight. Lows level off around 39. Cloudy skies expected. High of 50 tomorrow. Rain likely. Temps a bit above average Saturday and Sunday with highs in the low 50s. Scattered showers possible both days. Take a look at the extended forecast. 44 Monday, 44 Tuesday, and 46 on Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, 52.
NBA, the Thunder fought off the Knicks 103-100. Chet Holmgren had 28 points.
We've played a lot of close games. I felt like we did a really good job of getting to the right stuff. We made enough plays on both ends down the stretch to close it out.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander added 26 for the champs, who have now won 4 in a row. Hawks soared past the Bucks for their 5th consecutive victory. Hornets won their 6th straight, slamming the Celtics. Blazers got 35 from Drew Holiday and 30 from Jeremy Grant to light up the Grizzlies. Sixers stopped the Jazz, and the Clippers sailed past the Pacers. On the ice, the Devils never led the Maple Leafs until it counted. 2 goals in the shootout gave them a 4-3 victory. Toronto now winless in all 5 games since the Olympic break. Nikolai Ehlers' hat trick led the Hurricanes past the Canucks. Golden Knights erased a 2-goal deficit in the third and clipped the Red Wings in overtime. Ducks drubbed the Islanders, and the Blues shaded the Kraken. Soccer at the She Believes Cup in Columbus, the U.S. edged Canada 1-0 on Ali Sentner's second-half goal. The round-robin wraps up Saturday in New Jersey with the U.S. against Colombia. The World Baseball Classic is underway in Tokyo. Australia shut out Chinese Taipei 3-0 in the tournament opener. Games in Houston, Miami, and San Juan start on Friday. And safe home to Lou Holtz, the Hall of Fame college football coach who won 249 games in 33 years, 100 of them at Notre Dame, including the 1988 National Championship. Holtz, who also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, was 89 years old. That's Thursday Sports.
Are you thinking about a new roof, siding, or windows for your home? Give Tri-State a call. Tri-State installs GAF roofing products, James Hardy siding, and Pella replacement windows. And right now, Tri-State is offering huge savings. The first step is a free estimate. Call 360-208-2222 or visit tristate.pro.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
As leaves fall and temperatures drop, that means cold and flu season is here. But don't worry, the best defense is a good offense, and we have 2 ways to keep you healthy. First, regular hand washing can help keep cold and flu viruses at bay. Second, protect yourself and your loved ones by getting your flu shot. It's safe, it's effective, and it's your best bet against the flu. So, wash those hands, get a flu vaccine, and let's beat the cold and flu together. Brought to you by Olympic Medical Center.
News Radio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. As crude oil futures go up, stocks go down. NYMEX crude today up as much as 8.5% as the fighting in the Middle East intensifies even more. And crude shipping through the Strait of Hormuz all but halted. And new reports say the U.S. is not looking to tap U.S. strategic oil supplies to bring prices lower. Airline shares among those tumbling, with analysts at Rothschild cutting their rating on American Airlines stock and citing the rising price on jet fuel. Meantime, also weighing on sentiment today, U.S. officials have now written draft regulations that would restrict AI chip shipments to anywhere in the world without U.S. approval, and that's weighing on shares of NVIDIA and other tech stocks today. And the Pentagon says an additional $12 billion through 2031 is needed to boost declining readiness rates of the F-35 fighter, built primarily by Lockheed Martin, with others as well. The additional funding is mostly for spare parts. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's get a last check of the noontime traffic next.
Experience comfort at Angelus Furniture with IMG Comfort Furniture. Receive 10% off all orders and products in all sizes, colors, and models. Now through March 16th, take 10% off beautiful pieces like IMG Peak, Devani, Chelsea and Verona models with all recliners, Power Plus, and swivel gliding. 10% off IMG Comfort Furniture, including quick ship and special order, through March 16th, only at Angelus Furniture, 1113 East 1st Street.
Sensitive to dust, mold, or allergens? You can breathe easier at McCrory Carpet One thanks to their Healthier Living installation system that features cleaner installation practices. Their HEPA vacuum system removes the old dust, and a Heathinex antimicrobial treatment is used before they install your new floor. If it's new carpeting in your home, they include their hypoallergenic premium cushion that inhibits the growth of mold and mildew. Best of all, there's no extra charge for this healthier install, only at McCrory Carpet One.
News Radio KONP, traffic and roads.
All right, back up to Clallam Transit Dispatch Center we go, and that is where Steve's standing by with one last look at the noontime traffic for us. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi there. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, everybody's out. The sun came out, and everybody's out getting their stuff done. If you're traveling around the Port Angeles Swim area, yeah, you're going to find a lot of traffic right now making its way through. Port Angeles area, for the most part, we're in pretty good shape. Really not much of a problem making it around, considering the volume of cars out there. Little slowdowns at the lights, and on the east end of the city to our construction area with the stoplights and the construction, that is causing some slowdowns through there, and pretty long lines of traffic at times trying to zigzag their way through the S-curves there, so just be careful on that. If you're on 101 between Port Angeles and Sequim right now, no real issues. Highway 101's in good shape all the way out to the Sequim area. For the most part, it's at the speed limit all the way. Just a little slow going through the Carlsberg area, especially at the stoplight there. Overall, though, not too bad for you. Beyond that, Hood Canal Bridge right now, good to go with no scheduled marine openings. And currently, Washington State ferries are back running on time today. West End traffic should be a nice drive for you all the way out to the Forks area. Roads are in good shape. Got some nice weather going on right there right now. And most of the traffic that's out there is moving along at the speed limit. So everybody take care. Enjoy your afternoon. This is Steve reporting live from Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Steve. Another update during the drive home. Pepper will have that for us about 4:20 today. Your forecast the rest of the day today, partly sunny, about 50 for your highs. Clouding up tonight, some rain rolling in late, lows near 40, and a rainy Friday on the way with your highs near 50 degrees. Well, if you ever thought about spicing up your daily run, try bringing a Rubik's Cube with you. British speed cuber George Scholey holds the world record for solving the most Rubik's Cubes over the course of a marathon. Scholey completed a mind-boggling 520 Rubik's Cubes while covering 26.2 miles in 2024 in the London Marathon. The 22-year-old crossed the finish line in just under 4.5 hours, all while keeping his hands in constant motion and his brain in overdrive. To meet strict world record rules, Scholey had to complete the marathon in under 5 hours, capture every solve on a head-mounted camera, and work with friends stationed along the course who swapped out bags of scrambled and solved cubes.
New data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows that the leading cause of death in children isn't car accidents or cancer, it's firearms. Since 2019, guns have killed more children and teens than any other cause, and that trend continues today. In 2023 alone, firearm deaths rose by more than 50% compared to just 4 years earlier. Meanwhile, motor vehicle deaths, once the top cause of pediatric deaths, have dropped by nearly half. That's thanks to decades of improved vehicle safety and public health efforts. Experts say the same kind of systems-level approach from policy to prevention could help reverse the number of child gun deaths and save young lives. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
If I were working for Google or Microsoft right now, marketing Chromebooks and Surface laptops, I'd be sweating. And if you're about to buy a new laptop, stop. Pay attention. I'm Kim Commander for LinkedIn. For small businesses, every hire matters. Get $100 off your first job post with LinkedIn Hiring Pro at linkedin.com/Kim. Yesterday, Apple introduced the MacBook Pro Neo. Now, right off the bat, this is not a powerhouse machine. But here's the thing, neither is a Chromebook or a Surface laptop, and most people don't need a powerhouse anyway. For $599, you get a 2.7-pound laptop with a 13-inch liquid retina display with a sharp resolution, a fast 6-core CPU, and a battery that lasts 16 hours on a single charge. 16! So before you buy anything else, you should look at this one. It is a total game changer for Apple. Every color printer puts invisible tracking dots on pages. I'll tell you more in tomorrow's newsletter. Sign up at getkim.com. For small businesses, every single hire matters. But finding the right person can take time and energy you just don't have. That's where LinkedIn Hiring Pro comes in. It's like having a smart hiring partner that helps you focus on the candidates who are a great fit, so you can hire with confidence. I know firsthand how time-consuming hiring can be. You're running a business, wearing a dozen hats, and you're sorting through countless applications, trying to spot that right person. Posting a job is easy. It's the finding, connecting, and screening applicants that you don't have time for. LinkedIn Hiring Pro handles it all for you, writing the job description, finding top candidates, even conducting AI-powered first interviews. Forget digging through countless resumes. Hire right the first time. Post your first job and get $100 off your job post at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim. Terms and conditions apply. This is a total game changer. Don't miss out. Post your first job and get $100 off right now at linkedin.com/Kim.
The North Peninsula's news, the North Peninsula's talk. News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
I'm John Tesh. Coming up, I'll share the latest research from UC San Diego on preventing heart disease. This can dramatically cut your risk no matter how old you are. It's next in today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We all get distracted when we drive, whether it's from our phones or kids in the backseat bickering. But how we handle these distractions can be a matter of life or death. Before you get on the road for your next road trip, please put your phones on silent and take a mental note to focus on driving.
Paid for by NHTSA. So there's a new upside to getting our household chores done. It could dramatically reduce our risk of heart disease because so-called daily life movements like gardening, cooking, vacuuming, washing dishes, even taking a shower can help protect you from the world's #1 killer. That's according to a new study from UC San Diego. Researchers spent 8 years tracking thousands of healthy women in their 60s who wore activity trackers. The result? Those who spent 4 hours a day moving were 62% less likely to die from coronary heart disease, 30% less likely to suffer a stroke. The experts say it proves that all movement counts toward disease prevention, not just traditional exercise, because just being up and about, it improves circulation. Bottom line, if you want to live a longer, healthier life, get about 4 hours of daily life movements every day of any kind. I'm John Tesh with today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
This afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, a first look at Faro Marine Life Center's brand new facility, a big fundraiser for Captain Joseph House, and some smart money talk with Kevin Holt.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy, Farmers Insurance.
In conjunction with Squim Valley Chapel and Harper Ridgeview Funeral Home, we're excited to announce the installation of 3 additional niche banks within the Veterans Circle at Mount Angeles Memorial Park in Port Angeles. Each bank has 48 niches, and each niche comfortably houses 1 to 2 sets of remains. We are proud to help serve veterans and their families by adding this additional memorial space to Mount Angeles Memorial Park. Peninsula Cemeteries, because endings matter.
The North Olympic Peninsula's news station, News Radio KONP Port Angeles Squim, AM 1450, FM 101.7 and 101.3, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In a social media post today, President Trump announcing that he's replacing Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who will be replaced by Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
And the president, we know, had grown increasingly frustrated with Secretary Noem this following several days of her testimony up on the Hill. The president posting the current secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be special envoy for the Shield of the Americas, our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere.
Senator Mullin tells ABC News he's looking forward to beginning work at the department.
I'm here to enforce the policies that Congress passed, and right now I'm part of it, but once I make that transition, my focus is to keep the homeland secure.
Mullin still needs to be confirmed by the Senate. As drone attacks from Iran continue across the Middle East, law enforcement activity and vigilance ramping up as they anticipate some efforts from Iran against the U.S. ABC News contributor and former DHS official John Cohen says many will be focused on possible cyber attacks to come from Iran.
Iran has an extensive cyber capability. It's not just located in Iran. It's a global network of hackers. We're already seeing signs that they're seeking to leverage those hackers to conduct attacks against Israeli government, U.S. government, state and local government here in the U.S., and even private sector critical infrastructure information systems here in the U.S. as well.
Gas prices still on the rise as the war with Iran escalates, up 26 cents since the conflict began.
Analysts are saying it's unlikely we see prices come back down until oil does start flowing again through that crucial Strait of Hormuz. We've been talking about that. Right now, tankers there are anchored. They do not think it's safe to cross. And just this morning, we did learn about a strike on a tanker off the coast of Kuwait. So the bottom line, as those tankers don't keep moving, we will continue to see impacts on gas, also on overall inflation, too.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze, you're listening.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Pop star Britney Spears due in court after being arrested in Ventura County, California.
Britney Spears was arrested by the California Highway Patrol just before 9:30 on Wednesday night and booked into jail this morning, but then she was cited and released. TMZ says it was for driving under the influence. Her vehicle was towed to a tow yard and she's due in court on May 4th. Spears has been in trouble with police before. In 2007, she was charged and went to jail for alleged hit and run with a parked car in L.A. Later, charges were dropped and she was acquitted of one remaining count. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The Formula One season starting this weekend in Australia, but one team is concerned that its car could cause some permanent damage to drivers.
Britney Spears.
Days before Formula One cars race past the start line to start the season, and the Aston Martin cars are literal rattle traps.
That vibration into the chassis is causing a few reliability problems. Mirrors falling off, tail lights falling off, all that sort of thing.
That's team boss Adrian Newey, who says most of the issues are coming from the Honda engine. Things are so bad in the cockpit for the drivers, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, that Newey says they're risking permanent nerve damage if they drive too long.
Lance is of the opinion that he can't do more than 15 laps.
The Australian Grand Prix is 58 laps. Rob Hawley, ABC News.
Volatile storms on the march today in the plains and the Midwest, bringing along with it a tornado risk. Michelle Franzen.
You call one company, no answer. Another promises a quote, but never follows through. And when you finally get somebody, they show up late and their quality is suspect. Does this sound familiar? At Hartnagel Glassworks, we've heard how frustrating it is to find skilled, reliable help. That's why our employee-owned team shows up on time, does the job right, and treats your home with the care it deserves. You know us for window repair and installation, but our expertise goes far beyond that. We also install shower doors and enclosures, glass and cable railings, solar tubes and skylights, and we even sell and install exterior doors. Our customers trust us, and it shows. We have a 100% 5-star rating on Google. So when you're ready for reliable service from a team that shows up and gets it right, call Hartnagel Glassworks. Visit hbsglassworks.com, that's hbsglassworks.com, for more info. And as always, we deeply appreciate you for shopping local and employee-owned.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. 457-6600. A homicide investigation continues in Port Angeles after the remains of 73-year-old Danny Kendrick were discovered back on February 28th on Deer Park Road. Investigators say preliminary evidence indicates Kendrick died as a result of homicidal violence, but no suspect has been identified. Clallam County Chief Criminal Deputy Amy Bundy says the case remains what she calls a whodunit, and detectives may be waiting months for evidence testing to come back from the state crime lab. Meantime, anyone with information being asked to contact the sheriff's office. A proposal to install a peace pole at Pebble Beach Park is now before the Port Angeles City Council. The project, backed by the Nor'Wester Rotary Club and Lower Elwha Clallam Tribe, would feature a message of peace written in 8 languages, including Clallam.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with a slight chance for rain. Daytime highs approaching 51, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Rain likely tonight, lows dip down to about 39, cloudy skies expected. Rain likely tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 50. Cloudy skies expected. Temps a bit above average Saturday and Sunday with highs in the low 50s. Scattered showers possible both days. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 44 Monday, 44 Tuesday, and 46 on Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, it's 52 degrees.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
And here we go. Welcome once again to the show. First half of the program, we're getting a much-needed update, exciting update about a big doings happening on the waterfront. It is time to kind of unveil it a little bit more, the new Marine Life Center. And we're going to talk with Melissa Williams, who's the executive director there at the Faro Marine Life Center, because there's going to be a big groundbreaking about a month from now, right, Melissa?
Yes, we are still anxiously planning all the finer details, but April 8th, we are going to have our ceremonial groundbreaking and big community party.
All right, so let's get people up to speed on what's going on. People may be familiar with the Marine Life Center, where it is now on City Pier.
Sure.
It's moving down next to Field Hall, basically.
That's right. Yeah. So we had, when we were built in 1981, which is 45 years ago this year, we were a lab space for Peninsula College, and Mr. Arthur Faro and Will Word and many community members brought that lab to fruition. I don't think I'm surprising anybody to tell you that building is old. it's kind of run down. It's a little cramped and crowded. Last year we had more than 21,000. We reached more than 21,000 people, 15,000 in about 1,200 square feet of exhibit space. And we are no longer affiliated with Peninsula College as we were when that lab space was built. And as a standalone nonprofit, the space is just not doing it for us anymore. So we are thrilled to be able to partner with NOAA Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary to construct a new building that is going to be next door to the Field Arts and Events Hall in downtown Port Angeles. And that strategic partnership has been great for us. Faro will still own and operate the building, but they will be our strategic partner, helping to design exhibits and bring in education programs. They have a fantastic education crew that goes all over the county, and that their participation has supported our fundraising efforts for this new building. So we've received $18 million from the federal government towards the overall cost of construction.
And you wouldn't have been able to probably get that had you not been hooked up with the NOAA part of this, right?
We have an extremely generous community. I think there are so many projects in town that just are a testament to what happens when we all work together to bring great things to our town and to our county. However, it is not cheap to build a brand new aquarium and education center. And so it really not only brings that education focus, but also those resources that are sorely needed. But I don't want to leave off that we also, since that $18 million, have also had $1 million allocation from the state of Washington, as well as $5 million in private fundraising, mostly given by people who live here in Clallam County. So we've had a fantastic run of fundraising for the quiet phase of our capital campaign. And now April 8th, in addition to being the ceremonial groundbreaking and community party, will launch the public phase of the capital campaign. So like the Dream Playground, like the Boys and Girls Club, like so many of the great projects that have come to fruition here, that will be a great opportunity for everyone to get involved and give what you can, for sure.
All right. How much is this going to cost total to get it done?
So that's part of my daily 6,000 decisions that we're making, but we're working now with a contractor. So we have hired a local contractor. We'll be putting out some more details about that soon, but we are really going into what's called design development, and we're in the cost alignment phase of design development.
Okay.
So I will give you a range.
Okay.
And at this point, it looks like the final total is going to be between $30 and $35 million.
Right, so you got a bit more to raise then to get to the finish line on
That's
all
right.
of this.
And we have a fantastic fundraising team. In fact, in addition to the direct money from the federal agencies from NOAA, we have been able to lift up this project in terms of our regional fundraising. So we also have a fantastic staff member that's living in Seattle and has a ton of major gift development skills, and she's been going just flat out for the last couple months and has helped us raise over $150,000 so far. So we're continuing to work on that.
All right. This is going to be something totally different than what people think Faro Marine Life Center now. Tell us about what this facility will be like once it's up.
Well, I don't think I'm shocking anyone to tell you that in the last 45 years since Faro was originally built, standards and expectations have changed. They have changed on behalf of our visitors and what they expect when they go to a space that houses animals and museum exhibits. They've changed in terms of the standards and practices for good animal welfare. And so we are really building to those modern and future standards. So we have a long-term lease with the field hall for 40 years with a 40-year renewal, and our goal is to set ourselves up for the most success possible so that the guests have a great experience. It's not too loud, it's not too cold, it's not too wet, right? There are places for them to sit and places for kids still to do the things that they love to do at Faro. Like we will still have touch pools, for example. We will still highlight our smaller species that are found in our local waters. That's always a big fan favorite, all the little stuff. But we also are expanding our exhibits to include more digital engagement. So we want to talk to you about the deep ocean. Well, hard to do that with living animals unless you're a massive aquarium. Right. So we're going to have some great digital pieces that will help highlight things that you wouldn't necessarily get to see in person. And then we also are bringing on some new species to our collection.
So that's an exciting thing. Let's talk about that because I hear some birds perhaps are in the works.
That's right. So the story that we tell right now is specifically one of underwater species, but we know that there is a really strong relationship between animals that make their living, they find their food, right, just like us, underwater, but live primarily on land or in some cases in the air. And we have a fantastic seabird population off the Olympic coast, and some of it is doing really well and some of it is doing not so well, but we want to bring those species into this building so we can highlight that unique feature that isn't necessarily something, again, that someone will be able to see immediately in person. So tufted puffins, common murres, long-tailed ducks, and harlequin ducks. And we have been working with a bevy of experts, including some local experts, to make sure all of that is coming to fruition. All of those animals will come to us from other facilities. So we are not going out into the wild. So there'll be animals that were raised in human care already and just moving to a new home with us.
So these are used to captivity, I guess might be a way to say it, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That's right.
This could be kind of square footage wise. What again? You're still somewhat in design, so some of this is fluid.
It's a little
Pardon
fluid,
the
but,
pun there,
I will tell you, the ground floor is going to be about 13 to 14,000 square feet, and so it's a pretty good size. If you consider our current building in total is 3,200 square feet.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
So just the first floor is going to be 10 times almost.
Yeah, so the public experience is quite large and we think pretty robust, and certainly some place you could easily spend an hour of your time.
So give us the realities, though. This is not going to be like the Oregon Aquarium or the Seattle Aquarium. This isn't what you're trying to do, right?
Sure, and I think it's important to note we still will focus on local animals. So I know the Seattle Aquarium has had a fantastic, gorgeous new addition that focuses primarily on Indo-Pacific ocean animals, and that's terrific because as they can draw more attention to the importance of, we're all connected. There's one ocean. Water connects all of us. What happens here influences what's going on across the Pacific and vice versa. We knew that from lots of the marine debris that washes up on our beaches. So with the Seattle Aquarium taking on that bigger role, moving into a larger ocean conservation role, we can also expand our focus on the local species that live here. But we are not quite in the city center, if you will, to have a $130 million building.
Yeah,
yes.
right. And just the maintenance on that, too, is something else.
Yeah.
It's the build it part, but keeping it running is another issue, right?
Correct. So that's, they have hundreds of staff members at that aquarium, and we're going to have about 20. So
Right.
We're going to right size it for our region, right size it for our local residents, all the kids, but also for our tourism populations, right? So we know that people come out here for the location. They're excited by the national park. They think our tide pools are amazing. They want to go across the strait to Victoria and maybe see some whales while they're doing that. So we have a great focus area for folks as they're traveling around the peninsula to stop in to Port Angeles and learn more and get some better information. I can't even tell you how many hundreds of people are asking about, is this low tide a good low tide? Is this a place, what happens if I'm coming in December and low tide's at 12 a.m., So we will definitely have a big guest focus for people visiting.
If you can, walk us through a little bit of what the vision of this looks like when people go into the front door. What are they going to see? How's this going to be laid out?
So I think it's important to note, first of all, that one of the important driving factors is, even though we are a nonprofit and this is a community project, right? We have been slow and steady wins the race for a long time on this, but it's because we want to do it right. We will have a large community-free space in the lobby. So there will be exhibits there. There'll be life-size sculpture of a marine mammal in the lobby so that people can come and enjoy those exhibits without having to spend a dime, really. Okay. And once you buy a ticket, that's where you get access to all of the live animals. I don't know if you know, but they all need to eat food, and that costs money, and they need to be cared for, and those people cost money. So we do have to put those in a ticket side, but we will not only tell stories about the animals that live here, but also us, the people that live here. Many people have lived here since time immemorial. So a real combination of historical plus all of the cool modern things that we have going on in our community. We have so much resilience and innovation and really interesting projects that we're all doing, and we want to highlight that as part of the story about visiting Olympic Coast.
Now, the partnership with the Marine Coast Sanctuary, there's going to be some office space there, but really, I know you can't speak for them necessarily, but how important is this thing beyond that? I'm thinking from educational perspective. I have talked with those folks in the past, and they really do want to get their message out. They want more ways that the public can see what they're all about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it's important to note that the Marine Sanctuary is such an undersung resource for our region, and largely that's simply because most of it is underwater,
right?
Right? It's basically the equivalent to Olympic National Park, but for the coastal shelf and the deep sea, and they have amazing research that happens there, research that informs, for example, the level of oxygen that's in the water off the coastal shelf, so that commercial crabbers know if they should go pull their crab pots up before a deoxygenation event takes place, because you definitely don't want a pot full of dead crabs, right? They also have long-term data monitoring buoys that help with understanding our ocean conditions. They've been doing that for decades. It's the longest running data set. That's important science that they conduct. They have a fantastic relationship, I think, with so many coastal communities, and I think that's a really fantastic asset when you think about their sanctuary plus the strait and putting those stories together, because it is one coast. We don't experience it as residents. We don't experience as who manages this land or that land, and we want to tell that singular story. So their involvement is pretty critical to them.
Well, these are exciting times. You've been, how long have you been with Faro
It'll be 12 years
12
this
years,
May.
right?
Yeah.
I was going to say long enough to be pretty excited about this,
Yes.
I think, right? And I think this has been a vision, not for you, but for all involved down there, to try to find how do we get the Marine Life Center to another level, to the next level.
That's right. I would say that the board of the Marine Center, ever since it became a nonprofit in 2008, has been struggling with answering that question successfully. And I am so glad that we have finally made it work. There is really not very much life left for us in the current building. And so this is a pretty critical move.
But touch tanks will still be around?
Yes, we'll definitely have touch pools. We'll have all the animals that live with us now will be moving with us into the new building. So,
will it be easier though in some ways for you to keep some of those exhibits? Because I know some of them it's frankly kind of a struggle to keep them going in the facility you have now.
Well, so the facility we have now is what's called an open flow system. So if you've ever stood on the pier and listened to the rumble of a pump turning on, that's for us. It requires a lot of maintenance. It requires a lot of very precarious climbing around on riprap and up ladders and with pipes and a large pressure washer. So we have done the best job we can for 45 years to keep that going, but it is a challenge. We have biosecurity issues, so invasive European green crabs. We have sea star wasting disease. In an open flow system, all of those things are coming in and out. You really can't control the health and safety of the animals that you care for as much as you should be able to. So in the new facility, we will have additional filtration systems and other things that will help prevent the biosecurity challenges and help us care for those animals.
Yeah, I never even thought about the behind the scenes part of this. Maybe as big of a deal as what we see as the public.
It is a significant improvement over what we've got, and I think it also, going back to those standards and practices, it will be it's the gold star for how aquariums operate. Make sure we have a quarantine space, we have a food prep room, we have separate areas to care for birds versus marine invertebrates. We currently have been onboarding a lovely volunteer who's a licensed veterinarian, and she has aquatics experience, and that is part of a very long-term scaling up, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended, that we've been doing on lifting those animal care standards. So we now have treatment plans, we have the the veterinarian that comes once a month and does case studies with us. We've actually been able to remove growths. We've had a copper rockfish go to the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium for an eye issue in a hyperbaric chamber to resolve an air bubble behind its eye. So we have lots and lots of new advancements that we've been able to take advantage of, but it is a challenge when the water comes in and you don't have any control over its quality.
All right, so groundbreaking coming up on April 8th.
Yes.
Still going to be really fundraising as well. What is the timeline? Where do you hope to be a year from now, for example?
Yes, so at the moment, it looks like we will be closing the current Faro facility just after Labor Day 2027. That is dependent on the construction schedule, just to be clear, but we are targeting an opening of the new building in early 2028.
Wow. So this is pretty assertive. I won't say aggressive. I'll say assertive. Right?
Well, and it goes back to, the sources of the funds. We have some spending timelines we have to meet. We have some, we find that with the fundraising, it turns out a sense of urgency is very helpful.
Right.
So we don't want to push this too fast, but we also need people to know that it's happening and that that we're coming.
And it sounds like then the project probably will get underway even though you may not have all the money raised to start with. At least you've got enough to get it going.
Yes, that's right. And that's pretty common for capital campaigns. You want to have about 70 to 80% of the funds in hand, and that's what we've got. So we're in a good spot where we have a fantastic campaign advisor, and we've been working with them this whole time to make sure we're in a good location.
It was interesting. Last time we chatted, things were kind of wondering about, with the Doge stuff going on, if grants were going to happen or not. And you weren't sure for a bit there whether that big chunk of money was going to be coming or not.
Sure. Well, I think some things have evened out, but there is always a risk. And I will just say that. So that is another factor in some of the spending timelines and making sure that we can, those are reimbursement funds, so we have to spend them to receive them, and the faster we spend them, the faster we receive them.
And in a year or two, we'll have a brand new facility downtown, which is really going to be fun, I think.
We'll have so many parties and openings and special events for people to attend. We really, really are moving Mr. Faro's legacy. It is not letting it go. And I did want to bring that up because I know folks have questions. Although the name will not officially have Mr. Faro in it, we have never shied away from honoring him or his work, and we are bringing elements of our existing building over to the new building, like the beautiful copper sculpture that Clark Mendy's done. That will be moving with us. We'll continue to utilize his name in specific parts of the building, so we are expanding on his legacy, certainly not diminishing it or trying to forget it.
What is the title of this place going to be when it's all said and done?
So you can find that out on April 8th.
Okay.
We're going to unveil that at the PA Chamber lunch at noon. Okay. And then you can stop by to the party and get more information about the exhibits inside the building.
So there's a perfect little tease for people to show up, right?
That's
all right. April 8th is a big day, and I'm sure going to be talking some more about this as you get rolling. So, Melissa, it was great to talk to you. Thanks for coming down, and congrats on getting now to the next step.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I really appreciate it.
That's Melissa Williams. She's the executive director at the Faro Marine Life Center, talking about the new Life Center, also a cooperative with the with NOAA here locally as well. That's going to be breaking ground in about a month down on the waterfront right next to Field Hall. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
You have a neighborhood auto parts store in Sequim ready to help. Such as when you're getting your trailer set up for the season, rely on A1 Auto Parts and Marine to keep your outdoor adventure on the road. Trailer brakes, axles, bearings, even a hydraulic hose fix. A1 Auto will custom make hydraulic hose while you wait. Find the experts at A1 Auto Parts and Marine to help keep your Northwest adventure moving.
Come see Price Ford when shopping for your next vehicle. We have the new Ford Maverick and Ranger, along with the highly capable compact crossover Ford Bronco Sport. Looking for pre-owned? We have the largest selection in the area. Let us help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit Price Ford next to Walmart in Port Angeles or priceford.com and become part of the Price family.
It's the 41st annual KONP Home Show, happening Saturday and Sunday, March 14th and 15th. Join us at the Port Angeles High School Gym Saturday from 9 to 4 and Sunday from 9 to 3. Explore over 100 vendors featuring everything from roofing to flooring, landscaping to heating. Basically, if it turns your house into a home, it's here. Enter the Swing into Spring Sweepstakes, where one lucky person will win a gorgeous 6x6 glass greenhouse from Jungle Jane's in Sequim, a $1,000 shopping spree at Airport Garden Center, and a 4-person Coleman inflatable hot tub sponsored by Everwarm Hearth and Home. You'll have all the things you need to make your own private oasis in your own backyard. Don't forget the community corner and concessions area, sponsored this year by our friends at Olympic Peninsula Title and Permabuilt. The Home Show is proudly presented by Clallam PUD with sponsor partners Lumber Traders and our friends at Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales. The KONP Home Show, March 14th and 15th.
Hi, this is John Holm, President of Tri-State Roofing, your local and family-owned company covering the entire Olympic Peninsula area. The difference with Tri-State Roofing is we separate ourselves with the quality of products we offer, customer service, including an A+ rating with the BBB, solid safety plans, and the best labor guarantees around. Call 360-208-2222.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
At Olympic Peninsula Title, we wear a lot of different hats. We are investigators, analysts, and the protectors of property rights. We seek a high standard of accuracy. Our commitment to exceptional service strengthens our mission. We reduce risk. We stay on top of current issues affecting property rights. We sweat the small stuff to give our customers the peace of mind they deserve. When it's time to choose a title company to close your transaction, opt for Olympic Peninsula Title.
All right, we're going to take another break, get caught up on the news at the bottom of the hour. Then we'll have Betsy Reed-Schultz joining us from the Captain Joseph House. We're going to be talking about their big fundraiser, their Swing into Spring event, which is coming up in a week or so. We'll chat about that when we come back right after this.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. We're ready to clear our warehouse. This is a rare chance to save thousands on new and floor model hot tubs featuring our saltwater hot spring spas. Plus, outstanding deals on endless pool swim spas, Tilo saunas, and our great selection of pre-owned tubs. Warehouse clearance savings in all 8 Olympic showrooms now until March 8th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
What a dump!
Edward Albee's powerhouse drama, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, comes to the stage at Olympic Theater Arts February 27th to March 15th. George and Martha, trapped in a loveless marriage, invite a young couple over for late-night drinks. What happens next is an evening of edgy banter, tragedy, and despair. It's a no-holds-barred, smack-down drama that is as classic as it gets. Watch as these 4 actors excel in their craft in this tour de force rated as one of the top plays of all time. Tickets are expected to sell out, so get them while you still can. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, sponsored by Integrity Roofing, runs Fridays through Sundays, February 27th through March 15th. Tickets are available online, over the phone, or better yet, come visit us at the theater. While you're at it, consider purchasing your 2026 tickets and becoming a member. Olympic Theater Arts. Theater for your community, built by your community.
Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Virginia Woolf.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Nearly a week after launching airstrikes with Israel against Iran's military and killing Iran's supreme leader, President Trump telling Axios he wants a say in who will take over as leader.
President Trump told Axios today he has to be involved with what he called the appointment of Iran's next leader, similar to how he approved Delcy Rodriguez being in power in Venezuela. He said the son of the Ayatollah, who was killed in an airstrike, is a, quote, lightweight and unacceptable to him. But it's a very different message than what the president said in public comments and social media videos since the strikes began on Saturday.
And take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Today, lawmakers in the House are set to vote on a war powers resolution, which is not expected to pass. It comes a day after the Senate Republicans blocked a similar proposal. This is ABC News.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon with a slight chance for rain. Daytime highs approaching 51, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Rain likely tonight, lows dip down to about 39, cloudy skies expected. Rain likely tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 50, cloudy skies expected. Temps a bit above average Saturday and Sunday with highs in the low 50s. Scattered showers possible both days. Take a look at the extended forecast: 44 Monday, 44 Tuesday, and 46 on Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, it's 52 degrees.
Welcome back to the program. Going to spend a few minutes talking with one of my favorite guests to come in, and that's Betsy Schultz from the Captain Joseph House. And they got a big fundraiser coming up next Saturday, the return of their Swing into Spring event. And Betsy, good to see you again.
Thank you. It's good to see you, Todd. And I really enjoy coming in and having this time with you.
So well, I enjoy having you.
Thanks for the invite.
You got it. Anytime. So let's talk about what you got planned for the evening into the night of Saturday, March 14th.
Right, it's just around the corner, and once again we have our favorite Buck Ellard's band that will be playing, kind of his home ground because it's being held at the Sequim Prairie Grange off Maclay Road. It starts at 5, goes till 10 o'clock, and there will be some Western dancing classes from 5 to 6, and dinner starts at 6, and Buck starts, and we'll swing into the evening till 9:30, 10 o'clock.
It's just meant to be just a fun hootenanny, isn't it?
It is. And once again, Black Bear Diner will be providing our barbecue. It is great. Barbecue beef, pulled chicken, baked beans. I mean, the whole deal. $50 per person.
Got it. Yep.
Raffles, silent auction, and prizes.
So you did this for the first time last year in Port Angeles. It must have been good enough because here you are doing it again.
Well, we had folks say, I wish I had come. So we want more of you to come, and there will be space to come that day. If you can't decide till the 14th, just come on down.
Now, are you going to be bringing back some of the games and some of the things you had last time?
Yes, we're going to have the calf roping, and that was probably one of the best ones. And
now you got to
$1 a ticket.
Define for folks though, it's not real calf roping.
No, I created a calf with a sawhorse, covered him with burlap, and he has a hard black head, and it's a real lasso, and it's great fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of noise, is what it is.
That's
so
perfect.
It's fun.
Perfect. And I know that you're also gussied up in your best Western attire because you can win some prizes, right?
It is. At 8:30, the contest will be done at that time, so you got to stay around, and we have first, second, third, and there's cash prizes. So
what a great way to kick into spring,
it's fun.
Right?
You
Yeah,
bet.
it'll be a lot of fun, and you're raising money for a great cause, and that is the Captain Joseph House Foundation. And we haven't had you on for a bit. Let's get a little update as to how things are going over there.
We've got families coming. It's always a challenge because families get booked in and then a situation changes and they have to change their week, and so we're shuffling all the time. It's kind of putting a jigsaw puzzle together. We have this year, we have another pathway to reaching Gold Star families. 190 Survivor Outreach Service, or referred to as SOS coordinators throughout the country from all states of the country, have got into the program and have been sending out the information and how to come. So that will bring in with numbers of people.
You'll get a lot more folks probably applying to do this. Yeah.
And I think we've been doing our program now long enough with families and feedback that the Green Beret Foundation is now looking into putting to an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, to work with Captain Joseph House to get it out to Green Beret families. Wow. And are considering doing some funding for the airfare. So that would be wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
So for those who know nothing about how this works, explain to people that this is for families to have a respite. Gold Star families, they have lost a loved one in the service.
They're combat
right.
losses. So there are 3 criteria, and it's the families who have lost a hero killed in action. They died post-combat injury that never healed. They may have had a sepsis situation, or it could be 3 days later when they're at the hospital in Bagram, or when they get home. It could be 3 months, 6 months later. And then we also acknowledge that PTSD, combat injuries are causing the situation with families who are having self-inflicted suicide events. And so 3 criteria. We bring the families with the suicide situation. Those families really need to pair up. They need to be able to talk freely and share their feelings and their experiences with someone else who most closely understands. So it works well.
So you fly them out here, these
we
families.
Fly them round trip. Yeah, we don't just leave them here.
Right.
We send them home.
But part of the deal, though, round trip. Although some of them might, after they're out here for a while, say, I'm not sure I want to go home.
Yeah, a couple of the comments have said, we really didn't want to go home.
Right.
So.
And you've opened this beautiful facility up for them to just kind of be there. And that's the beauty of this, right?
To be here, to be in the beauty of this area. We have programs set up during the week. There's hiking. If it's in the winter, we ice skate. You can swim anytime during the year. And, you know, a lot of the kids love the fact that we have this indoor swimming area. But every day has some kind of an activity. Still, there's room to rest and relax. It's all family to family. Whatever we do, everyone works together on it. And each week the program is similar, but it changes depending on the ages of the families and the physical ability. If we have families with grandma was part of that family and uses a wheelchair, so we did the Madison Falls trip, which has the dedicated ADA trail, versus taking them to any of the other falls, to Merrimer. So it's a changing process. It's not like one fits everybody. It changes and it accommodates. So we go all the way to the West End one day, out to Rialto.
How many of you get through in a year? Would you say last year, for example? How many did you have?
It's a small amount. It's really a small amount. It's like 7-8 families.
Okay.
Or weeks. Sorry, weeks. So it's a hard one to. It's still a hard one to sell. And it's just getting the word out. But since
I think once you have families now that are providing some feedback as to what this does, because I would imagine, and you're a Gold Star mom, you could probably imagine how I'm not sure if I want to do this or not.
Right.
But when you do it, you probably would come back and say, "Wow, I wish I would have done this a long time
Todd,
ago."
And that's some of their feedback is that I wish, and then I'll have families that are in the community that are. Were Vietnam families and have lost, and they'll go, how come there wasn't a program for us? And I said, well, it takes someone to create it and to do it, and it's thanks to this community and folks from around the country that we can do it because of the funding. We don't have big grants. It's the commitment and the belief in our mission that families can come because of the generosity. And so our swing into spring is we swing into the fundraising season.
Because I think we should note that the reason you have to raise money is to run this place, but all of this is you don't charge basically. So that's the beauty of this as well. It's just come and don't worry about it. It's covered.
They don't have to worry about planning the meals. They don't have to figure how we go from place A to B. Everyone in the family, if it's the mom or the dad that's survivor, and they usually the planning, it's a respite for them also.
Yeah.
So.
What a service, though. I mean, this is just tremendous, and I have been with you since you started this thing and the whole thing. And
Thank you. You've been with me all along and still here.
And it's terrific to see it now doing what it's doing, and we hope we get it to the next level. What's next for you? You got this coming up? You got anything else?
Then we have our annual Memorial Day service, which is being held on the 25th, that Memorial Day. That's our 15th anniversary of Joseph and Marty and Aaron giving their lives, and we have a special dedication to Rod Lee and Joe Borden, who have both passed and were our key folks with keeping our committee working on building and remodeling the house. So we received a American Liberty Elm through the Daughters of American Revolution, the Michael Treepert group. It donated one of these trees that they've been nursing along, and that's 250th anniversary. And they donated it to the Carlsberg VFW, who in turn given it to Captain Joseph House, and it just got planted yesterday, and it's a little stick, right? He's about 4 feet tall.
Yeah, but he'll become a giant elm. So
he
there
will
you
match
go.
with the 2 elms that are in the yard, and by the time he gets that high, he will then be out from under the canopy of the cherry tree, who's on his last legs.
Okay.
So
All right.
anyway, so that's wonderful. And so that'll be dedicated for that service at 4 p.m. at Captain Joseph House. And then we were honored to be invited to be part of the Petals and Pathways tour with the county.
With the Master Gardeners this year.
Gardeners.
Oh, all right.
And I said to them when they came, I go, you're not going to be looking at a mini Bouchard garden, as beautiful as they are. We're a memorial garden, and you're not going to see gigantic platter roses and all this fancy stuff. So they decided it was a wonderful project.
Well, I think it's a great project.
It is. The exposure
really
will be
different.
fantastic.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get some folks who'll come through there and probably never even know what you were doing
Exactly.
over there.
A lot of the Master Gardens didn't know about us. So this is good. And they're selling 750 tickets this year. Last year, out of their 650, 400 ticket holders went through all of the properties. So even if we had 400 out of the 750.
Oh, you just love that. You could be telling a lot of people about what you're doing over there.
We are, and there's an opportunity to go through the house. So it's another way to expose our project and what we're doing. Then we hop into July 4th Parade, which we always carry the Fallen Heroes banners. And for the 3 families that are booked for this July 4th, they'll have their own Gold Star banner, which they take home. And if you've never been to a July 4th parade in Port Angeles, please make this one of yours. It's a very special, the whole parade is wonderful. And we're always looking for banner carriers. So reach out to me at 360-460-7848. Of any of these activities that I've talked about or you'll hear about, let me know. We're always looking for volunteers. And then, of course, our gala auction and dinner is July 24th. And it is, again, back to Captain Joseph House in our garden. Nice. And folks who have been coming every year said never go anywhere else.
I know you made that move,
never
and everybody likes it there now, right?
That's right. And we bring 3 individual family members who have come. Last year was a father, a Gold Star wife, and a Gold Star sister. And this year we'll have a Gold Star, hopefully a Gold Star father, a Gold Star son, and a Gold Star wife. Right. Different families from different parts of the country.
But you'll get to hear about the impact.
That was amazing. And, you know, everyone said it was like, we know about it, we could feel it, but today we felt it. So it's pretty exciting.
Betsy, you've done great work over there. You and a lot of volunteers.
It's a lot of people. This is
you.
more than a village. It takes a country to do it.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, where can we get tickets for this next one coming up?
You can do it 360-460-7848. If you see one of our flyers, there is a QR on flyers hanging up through town. You can go to the Facebook or the website, but call me directly. Let's do this fast.
Absolutely.
We'll take it over the phone.
And if you missed it, call me. Call us here at the station. We'll get you in touch with Betsy. Betsy,
thanks, Todd.
Great to have you. Thanks for coming down. Have some fun swinging into spring. It's time.
We will. Thank you. Come on down. Put those boots on and a new hat.
Maybe doing that. Right.
All right.
All right. That's Betsy Schultz there from Captain Joseph House. We're going to take a break. Be back with more in just a moment.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
Hello, this is Katie McCormick with Squim Valley and Harper Ridgeview Funeral Chapels. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about a new, exciting, and environmentally friendly development in the funeral industry. It's called Natural Organic Reduction, or terramation. Perhaps you've heard of it. Terramation is a process in which the body, after death, is returned to the earth in a carbon-neutral, eco-friendly manner. The process takes place in a controlled environment, and all that remains is a natural, odorless, compost-like material. If you would like more information about terramation and advanced planning, call us today at Harper Ridgeview in Port Angeles or Squim Valley Chapel in Squim, and one of our knowledgeable and caring funeral professionals will assist you in answering your questions. Harper Ridgeview and Squim Valley Funeral Chapels, because your loved ones deserve the best.
Bathfitter is celebrating over 42,000 installations in Western Washington. That's 42,000 bathrooms made safer, cleaner, and more stylish. And for a limited time, we're doubling our tax season offer, giving up to $1,000 off your dream bath. Custom-fit tub and shower solutions are installed in as little as 1 day, with complete removal of your old setup. Every installation backed by a lifetime warranty. Visit bathfitternw.com to schedule a free consultation. Hurry, this offer won't last.
If it's time for new asphalt paving for your dirt, gravel, or damaged driveway, now's the time to call Lakeside Industries for a free estimate. They've been serving this community since 1982 with city, county, and highway projects, of course. But did you know that they do residential and commercial grading, paving, and stormwater too? Well, they're scheduling spring and summer jobs right now, and no job is too small. Just call Lakeside Industries, 452-7803, or lakesideindustries.com.
Looking for the next place to call home? Come tour Lavender Meadows in Sequim.
I had been looking at this great community here, and Lavender Meadows stands way above the others.
Dennis and his wife found more than just a home.
One of my favorite things we have here is we have a community garden. We can grow tomatoes and just all kinds of greens. Our radishes were fabulous.
Come meet your new neighbors at Lavender Meadows. Our modern, low-maintenance homes give you more time to enjoy your life. Go to lavendermeadowsmhc.com.
Come out to Olympic Game Farm. It's the home of the Waving Bears. Come out to Olympic Game Farm for some tender love and care. Now it's not impolite to stick out your tongue, considering the critters you'll be among. Come out to Olympic Game Farm. It's the home of the Waving Bears. The llama and the yak know you want to come back, and the tiger always gets a few stares. Come out to Olympic Game Farm. It's the home of the Waving Bears.
All right, back with an abbreviated business bit as it is our Thursday, last segment of the Thursday show. Always is Kevin Holt coming in to join us and share with us some insight into the world of business. Well, consumerism, things related as well. Today it's all about Gen Z.
That's right. They have goals,
my favorite generation. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, you know, a new report revealed that over half of Gen Z individuals have exactly the same career goal. They would all like to become social media influencers.
Oh, yes.
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 So, you know, I just asked a question. What's the chances that any of us could make even minimum wage at this popular idea? So, first, what do I mean by minimum wage? Well, the typical minimum wage worker earns about $25,000 a year. So, being an influencer is part of that so-called gig economy. So, let's see how that's going to work. So, one of the first places that people always think about when they're going to consider being an influencer is our good friend YouTube. So what are the chances of making at least $25,000 a year on YouTube? Well, according to data we were able to collect, a vast majority of YouTube creators earn no income. Mm-hmm. Estimates suggest that around 90% of creators receive no payments whatsoever for their content. And like podcasting, the average YouTube creator makes about $6 and then gives up.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. For those who do, initial earnings can be a little bit more modest than you might expect, typically around $900 a year. And that comes from getting earnings that range from 1/1000th of a cent per view all the way up to 1 whole cent per view, a penny a peek.
So your ceiling is a penny.
Yeah.
That's the most you'll ever get per view.
That's as big as it gets per view, unless you're Mr. Beast. But I think it's important for people to realize that when you see things like that, what you're seeing is a group of people who have started a project that in part expresses itself through YouTube. For example, I think a lot of people were surprised to learn that when Conan was on the late night show, he had writers. You mean he didn't just come up and think of all those funny things himself? No. So among the creators who do earn that $900 a year, over half of them generate income from sources other than YouTube. Direct payment from faithful viewers, also known as begging. Please join my Patreon and give me money so I can keep doing this. Promoting goods for their own sponsors, which can lead to trouble at YouTube if you're not careful about how you do that. Or those infamous affiliate links. See my affiliate links in the show notes below. Click them and make me money. Really adding value there, not? So the chances of making even my low target income of $25,000 a year, the likelihood of that is minuscule. The chance of hitting the big time, immeasurably small. So now let's just look at social media influencers in general, that most popular job aspiration of Gen Z. Well, many social media users identify as influencers, but only a smaller than microscopic fraction earn any measurable income. Not lots of money, any money. Most actually don't break even when all the expenses are taken into account, like renting those fancy sets so it looks like you're on a private jet when you're not. Fewer than 20% of active influencers earn any recurring income. That person that boasts about getting $1,000 for that Twitter post, that's probably all they ever got.
Yeah.
And some of them promote things that turned out not so good, like the Fire Festival. So that $1 million for Kim Kardashian to post, well, she never actually got paid. And again, only over 50% of the influencers who earn any revenue on social media have multiple income streams like, you won't be surprised, affiliate marketing, merchandise sales, and of course, our famous begging. Please join my Patreon. So even influencers who achieve some notoriety seem to quickly disappear. Influencer job security is right up there with the other one-hit wonders in media. In other words, there's lots of people that did something on social media, but they don't do it twice. So how does that compare with that old-fashioned idea of chasing fame and fortune as a professional athlete? That was a historical path to riches. Can you make it big as a pro? Well, we've been looking at the entire population of people in these pursuits. The millions of YouTube creators, the uncountable delivery drivers, and the entire universe of influencers. So to be fair, we need to look at the entire sports galaxy, not just the National Football League, the National Basketball Association, and Major League Baseball, and hockey, of course. Go Kraken. So we need to consider those hardy souls who play for glory and a stipend. The folks in arena football, indoor soccer, women's flag football, professional badminton. I mean, really, if you spend a little time on YouTube, you will see sports you never knew existed that people are actually thinking they're playing
and
professionally.
They're pros because
they get $1.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Of those who do get paid, and most of them don't, but if they get paid at all, they don't make much more than about $20,000 a year. We're $5,000 short of my goal. So what do all these new economy gigs have in common? Well, when it comes to actually making money, almost nobody does. Will you make it big as an influencer? Well, you are just as likely to get an NFL contract or sign a deal with an NBA team. One person out of millions and millions makes it at that level. So does that mean you shouldn't try? Well, of course not. Those are statistics. It's not the market. Maybe you will be the lucky one. Just don't bet your future on it.
Yeah. I think it's a good point because the ones who are making some sort of money are selling a product. They're really doing an advertisement for somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ron Propeel was an influencer, if you wanted to.
Before there was an on,
right.
It was just through your television.
Set it and forget it. Yeah. So really, it's those lovely illusions that people like to chase because they don't want to think about the drudgery of reality. Right. But again, don't bet your future on it.
And you also have to have a very unique shtick.
Oh.
If you're going to just be an influencer, you've got to have some sort of career you're already doing.
That's
that
right.
is of interest if somebody wants to peek into.
That can pull them along into doing something. You don't just get up and influence. Right. You have to be. And the people on YouTube who actually make not quite $25,000, but a little, are the people who are passionate about something. They make videos about it every day. They've been doing it for 15 years. They have 1,000 videos up. So they're going to get something off that penny per view.
Yep. All right. All of this and more at KevinYourBusinessCoach.com.
That's right.
Where he does not have any sort of...
no influencing involved, just coaching.
Kevin Holtz, our business guru. Thanks for coming in,
See
Kevin.
you next time.
Thank
you.
We'll check in with the news next.
The KONP Home Show is coming up March 14th and 15th. We're very excited that the community corner and concessions area of our show has brand new sponsors.
Permabuilt, your custom post frame builder serving all of Western Washington. And Olympic Peninsula Title, your first choice for local title and escrow services, are proud to be a part of the 2026 Home Show. Please visit some incredible nonprofit organizations in our community corner. Find out what you can do to show your support of these groups, and then sample some of our delicious new food vendors in the concession stand. Thanks to Permabuilt and Olympic Peninsula Title for your sponsorship and participation in the KONP Home Show. Visit Permabuilt's booth in the Rough Rider Gym for more information, and visit OliPenTitle.com for any of your title or escrow needs. We'll see you at the show March 14th and 15th at Port Angeles High School.
Check Up on Health presented by Olympic Medical Center.
Check Up on Health with Chris Whitting. Most people want to live as long as possible. Dr. Greg Hammer from the Stanford University School of Medicine says sleep, exercise, and nutrition are key, and supplements may help.
We're prone to have low levels of certain vitamins in our bodies, especially, for example, vitamin D deficiency. And I think this is exacerbated by the fact that we want to kind of stay out of the sun. Most of us, if we don't take vitamin D as a supplement, unless we live in a very sunny environment and we expose our skin to the sun for 20 or 30 minutes at least a day, many of us are going to be somewhat deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin K2, also very important. Obviously, we have to prioritize. We don't want to be taking 50 pills a day, but I think there are a handful of vitamin and mineral supplements that are really beneficial that promote longevity.
With Checkup on Health, I'm Chris Whitting.
Pardon me, excuse me. Frequent bathroom breaks getting in the way? It may be time to see a urologist. Our skilled urology team at Olympic Medical Center is ready to see you. Whether you're dealing with prostate problems, incontinence, or a feeling that you always need to go, a referral from your doctor to an OMC urologist is just what you need. Learn more today at olympicmedical.org/urology.
Do you have a social function in your future to plan? Perhaps you're in charge of this year's class reunion, or you have a wedding reception to host coming up. Maybe even a celebration of life. Well, the Eagles Club in Port Angeles can help. We have a beautiful facility available for public use. We have staff available to show you around and see if we would be the right fit to facilitate your next gathering. The Eagles Club, number 483 on Myrtle Street in Port Angeles. Give us a call today at 452-3344.
Your voice, your news. News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim. AM 1450, FM 101.7 and 101.3. A Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. At a time when the U.S. is at war with Iran, President Trump shaking up Homeland Security leadership here at home, announcing in a social media post Kristi Noem is out at the end of March as Homeland Secretary. It comes as Noem faced scrutiny during hearings this week on Capitol Hill over DHS spending, immigration, and the agent-involved shooting deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Good in Minnesota. Here's ABC's Selena Wang.
This is a really big deal. This is the first cabinet secretary that has been fired by the president in his second term. Of course, in the president's first term, it was like a revolving door of top leadership at the White House. But this time around, the president has kept this to a tight circle of close allies. So it speaks volumes that he has decided to oust her, especially while DHS is currently shut down.
The president announced Noem will serve in a new special envoy role and will be replaced by U.S. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. The Iran war, now in its sixth day, has led to widespread instability across the Middle East. President Trump says the strikes will continue.
But they're tough, and they want to fight. And they're calling, they're saying, how do we make a deal? I said, you're being a little bit late, and we want to fight now more than they do.
Tens of thousands of Americans, meantime, remain trapped in the Middle East, scrambling to get flights out. The State Department today says the first coordinated charter flight left Dubai and landed at New York's JFK. ABC's Shannon Kingston says it's a start.
State Department officials are telling us that they plan to dramatically ramp up those rescue operations today. We are expecting to see more charter flights, more ground operations to move Americans out of harm's way.
24 states suing the Trump administration over the president's efforts to impose global tariffs of 15%. Those are set to go into effect this week. The lawsuit claiming the new tariffs are illegal. You're listening to ABC News.
You have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
A GOP congressman from Texas facing new calls from top Republicans to end his bid for re-election.
The embattled Texas Republican acknowledged this week that he'd, in his words, made a mistake and had a lapse in judgment. The House Ethics Committee is now investigating whether Tony Gonzalez engaged in sexual misconduct with a staffer who later died by suicide. Gonzalez is still in the running to hold his seat, set to square off with a primary challenger in the May 26th runoff. But now, in a joint statement, Speaker Mike Johnson and his top lieutenants say they've asked Gonzalez to withdraw from the race.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Pop star Britney Spears due in court after being arrested in California.
Britney Spears was arrested by the California Highway Patrol just before 9:30 on Wednesday night and booked into jail this morning, but then she was cited and released. TMZ says it was for driving under the influence. Her vehicle was towed to a tow yard, and she's due in court on May 4th. Spears has been in trouble with police before. In 2007, she was charged and went to jail for alleged hit and run with a parked car in L.A. Later, charges were dropped, and she was acquitted of one remaining count. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Volatile storms on the march today in the Plains and Midwest. ABC News meteorologist Lee Goldberg says that includes tornado risks.
In fact, from Oklahoma City to Kansas City, an enhanced risk, some winds, very large hail, even an isolated tornado. That threat goes up to Cedar Rapids. And out ahead of that, lots of record warmth there, temperatures in the 80s in the southeast.
Michelle Franzen, ABC.
KONP News brought to you by McCrory Carpet One. Always priced right, always done right. It's McCrory Carpet One. A Port Angeles man will spend 10 years in prison following a violent drug arrest. 37-year-old Joshua Gowdy pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment, drug possession with intent to deliver, and 2 counts of second-degree assault. Clallam County Sheriff's deputies say he rammed patrol vehicles while trying to flee from officers at a Taylor Cutoff Road gas station last December. Investigators later found more than 60 grams of suspected fentanyl in the vehicle. In Olympia, House Democrats still short of votes for a proposal to create a millionaire's tax starting in 2028. Some lawmakers say they want the bill revised to include more funding for child care and relief for working families before they'll support it.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. A mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a slight chance for rain. Highs level off around 52. Northwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Rain likely tonight. Lows dip down to about 39. Cloudy skies expected. Rain likely tomorrow. Highs around 50. Cloudy skies expected. 53 Saturday with rain likely. 52 Sunday. Showers continue. Taking a look at the extended forecast. 44 Monday. 44 Tuesday. And 46 on Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, 52.
Normal is broke and common sense is weird, so we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio, this is The Ramsey Show. 888-825-5225 is the phone number to jump in. 888-825-5225. Alongside the good PhD, Dr. John Deloney. That was fun to say. Instead of the good doctor, I just mixed it up a little bit today.
It's more honest.
Well, it's right at it. It's a PhD. You got 2 of them, folks. And
Yeah,
he's gonna leverage them both
The letters
today.
are right. Like when someone says, like, "Hey, that guy's a doctor," they assume, he can
it's great.
heal me.
Yeah. So we've got an interesting combo We have a lot of fun, so beware. We'll help you, but we're going to have fun in the meantime. Sarah's up. She's going to get us started in Phoenix, Arizona. Sarah, how can we help today?
Hi. Well, I have a big question. I want to know, how do I protect my financial future and regain trust now that I know my partner has been very dishonest about his debt?
Tell us more. And here's what we want to hear. How dishonest and how long ago did you find out? Give us that detail.
Sure. So I found out it's been 3 sets of dishonesty, but the major one was this recently in December. I found out he actually has $65,000 in credit card debt.
Okay.
And finding this out.
How'd you find out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought he only had $10,000, and so I...
Hold on, did you make that number up, or is that what he told you?
That is what he told me.
Okay.
I am a very straight shooter. I'm older, so I dating. I hit the high points very early on, and he told me he had $10,000 in credit card debt. So I was like, okay, that's workable.
So he lied to your face.
Come to find out, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I planned to, I thought we were going to spend a future together and get married. So my Christmas gift was, I'm going to pay off your $10,000 credit cards. And so I went into his open desktop and found a spreadsheet that actually did not have $10,000. It was $65,000.
Okay. And how long ago was this?
This was December, because that was going to be my Christmas gift.
Are y'all still together?
We are still together.
All right. When you confronted him, what was that like?
Yeah, it was very awkward. He just said he was very embarrassed that he's not where he wanted to be in his life, and he knows I'm the person for him, and he didn't want me to run after I found out that truth.
And there's some truth to that, because you would have.
Yeah, here we are 3 months later, and you're calling us.
Yes, but this was already a year into our relationship. I found this.
No. Like you said, when he told you the number 10,000, you thought, okay, this is manageable. I can settle for him in this way. And so his impulse,
absolutely.
What he did was wrong, no question. But his impulse is right. She will judge me based on this debt number and will not give our relationship a shot.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was, and is there, here I am coming after you, tell me about the integrity of going through his laptop and going through his financial numbers. Is that something
completely accident? No, it was my internet went down at my home. I work remote a couple days a week, and I'm in a executive level. So I was like, I need internet. I need a quiet office. So he's like, just go to mine. And so when I logged in, because he gave me his password, I logged in to log into the internet for my meetings, and the spreadsheet was there.
Okay, so he gave you his computer.
Yes. No,
okay.
I was not going.
Okay. All right.
But I couldn't not look. I'm not going to lie. Once it was there.
Yeah, but let's just boil this down. What do you want John and I to weigh in on?
Yeah.
I guess a couple of things is, one, I get the lie, but I'm very financially in a separate category. I paid off $150,000 in student loans.
Hold on.
The financial piece. Yeah.
You're very, very judgmental.
Oh, thanks. That's not good.
And you have put yourself on a pedestal, and you are looking. Contempt is one of the 4 horsemen of the relationship apocalypse, according to the Gottmans. And contempt is a power hierarchy. I am better than. You get what I'm saying?
I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying.
Okay, you may be right, but I'd like to give her a little more latitude.
Okay.
Objection denied. Keep going. You were going somewhere, but John may be right, but I want to play this out. Keep going.
I was just trying to give a background because, again, I thought I met my person, and so I'm willing to give up whatever it is to help him, but not when he's not being honest. But it's also being a 35-year-old single woman that got her doctorate. I work 80-hour weeks. I work 4 jobs. To have someone that's not willing to side hustle the same way.
Okay,
and get
that's why. Okay, now that's why, John. I wanted to.
Background.
Well, so now John's absolutely right. He got ahead of me, which is not surprising. He has 2 PhDs. I don't have a degree at all. For anybody that's keeping score at home, and I'm proud of it, and never going to go get it. So I don't care what you think. However, John did catch it, but I think it's for a different reason. I don't think you're judgmental, but I think he's on to something. I'm going to say you're not judgmental, but I think you resent him because you're bringing up how much work you've done. you've busted your tail, you did everything the right way, and he's not willing to at least go get a side hustle. I think you're judgmental on his effort and his just overall gumption. Is that right or wrong?
Partially, especially when I gift you financial peace and you're not interested. So to me, that's just, then what are we doing here? Like,
there's
I'm
the
willing
question.
to pay off your credit card debt.
I don't know why you're with the guy. Can I be honest with you? I don't know why you're with this guy.
And it's gonna sound awful. I don't know why he's with you. Because here's the thing, y'all have different beliefs, and me and my wife have been married 23 and a half years. We have different beliefs on 1,000 different things, but we share values.
That's great.
And y'all don't share values. And somebody can be a great hang. They can be super loyal. They could be somebody you fall in love with. But if you don't share values, you're going to end up starting your marriage in two separate boats, rowing as fast as you can, and y'all going to end up in separate harbors.
I don't think this is the guy. And I don't know if that's why you called. I think I tried to ask you. I don't think that this is a good fit. Unless he – now, listen, I would say this. If you haven't told him all of this, now's the time to do the old-fashioned DTR, define the relationship, but tell him where your frustrations are and say, those frustrations are leading me to fears that you're not for me. I'd give the guy a shot.
And if you want to give him a shot, here's how I would enter that conversation. I have judged you and your work ethic, and I've compared it to mine. I've judged how much debt you have. I've judged your lack of caring about it. And I have made my values your problem.
Well, I'm not so much worried about that. I've started counseling with him because, again, I'm invested in him, in the relationship. My concern is if we get through the $65,000 debt, is there a way to regain that trust about finances? Because I'm
yes,
one money goes in a pot.
Yeah,
and
let John tell you how.
Here's how you regain trust. It's very hard, but it's very simple. You give him a map that is 14 days long on what he needs to do to help regain trust. That might be, I want to see your credit report. That might be on all your social media accounts, any number of things. You get to make up the path, and he gets to decide whether he wants to walk that journey or not. And after 14 days, y'all reconvene. And you commit, if you walk this path, I'm not going to keep your lack of, your dishonesty in my back pocket as an ace that I can play at any time. I'm going to commit to trusting you as we move forward slowly, so step by step. So 14 days, then another 14 days, and another 30 days, another 60 days. We're going to give him a roadmap and give him a chance to follow it.
If you're looking for a more budget-friendly way to handle medical costs and stay true to your values, Christian Healthcare Ministries is a great option. Y'all, CHM is not health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry, a biblical, community-based way for Christians to share each other's medical bills. That means no enrollment deadlines, and you can choose any doctor or hospital you want. That kind of freedom is big, especially if you're self-employed or between jobs, or you just want something that fits your budget better. Many members save hundreds of dollars a month compared to traditional health insurance. So if you're looking for more flexibility, more control, and a solution to help give you some margin in your budget, check out CHM. And right now, CHM is offering new members a 50% credit towards their first month of membership. So go to chministries.org/budget and use promo code Ramsey. That's chministries.org/budget and promo code Ramsey.
Buying or selling a home is exciting, but let's be real, it's also a huge deal. This ain't buying or selling a couch on Facebook Marketplace. This is a $300,000, $400,000 transaction, one of the biggest of your life, and you want to get it right. But if you don't have the right pro in your corner, you could make a mistake that costs you tens of thousands. That's why you don't do real estate DIY. Instead, you need a high-quality real estate agent, one who actually knows what the flip they're doing and is closing 20, 60, 100 deals a year. Not your Aunt Sally who just got her license last month. We've already vetted the best agents for you. Ramsey Trusted Agents are the top pros in your area, and they'll guide you to make smart decisions and buy or sell with confidence. No dumb mistakes, no overpaying, no leaving money on the table. To find a Ramsey Trusted Agent, go to RamseySolutions.com/agent. RamseySolutions.com/agent.
Hey guys, Rachel Cruz here. And I've read study after study showing that your relationships, health, decision-making skills, kindness, and even sleep can be better with gratitude. Plus, I've experienced this in my own life, which is why I'm so passionate about helping people find gratitude and contentment in their daily lives. One of the best ways to do this is through journaling. That's why I created the Contentment Journal. The Contentment Journal is a 90-day guided journal with thought-provoking daily prompts. Day by day, week by week, this journal will leave you feeling more thankful and hopeful. For the first 30 days, we'll focus on gratitude to recognize the blessings in your life. The next 30 days will focus on humility and becoming others-centered. And the last 30 days will focus on contentment and finding true, lasting happiness. You guys, contentment is a place where you can get to emotionally and spiritually, not financially. So go to the online store at RamseySolutions.com to get your copy of the Contentment Journal.
Most people know me as the guy who did stupid with a lot of zeros on the end. I made my first $1 million in my 20s the wrong way and then went bankrupt. That's when I set out to learn God's ways of managing money and developed the Ramsey Baby Steps. By following these steps, I became a millionaire again, and this time the right way. After 3 decades of guiding millions of others through the plan, the evidence is undeniable. If you follow the baby steps, you will become a millionaire and get to live and give like no one else. My new book, Baby Steps Millionaires, is now available for purchase. When you order my new book, you'll learn how ordinary people built extraordinary wealth and how you can do it too. I'll walk you through how to invest, build wealth, and bust through the barriers preventing you from becoming a millionaire. Baby step your way to becoming a millionaire. Get your copy today at RamseySolutions.com. That's RamseySolutions.com.
All right, Columbia, South Carolina is where we're going next. Lee is there. Lee, how can we help?
Yes, sir. I'm just kind of dealing with a situation with my mom here. We've been living with her for the past few years. She's going through a divorce. She's got over $300,000 worth of debt, and I've been trying to lay it out for her, but she's kind of being prideful about the situation. It's her ownership. So I'm just trying to see what I should do. Should I cut my losses and move on? Is there anything else I could do to help her? Could I try to gift her Financial Peace University, something like that?
Before we get into that part, why are you still living with your mom?